Okay guys, I'm going to do a quick video on hooking up a trailer with a pickup trucks. So what I do is I get generally lined up to the trailer. This truck does not have the backup camera that works, so you got to do it all with the mirrors. And you'll find, all right, so we're going to get the little tilt trailer. It's a little harder to hook up, I think. Let me see if I can show you. So in my mirrors, you can see the mud flap and a little bit of the deck on the tilt trailer. And same over here. That's how I get lined up. So if you keep that equal, like the truck, I think on the tilt trailer is almost, there might be 2 inches of deck wider than the truck on each side. So that's sort of how I get lined up. And then we'll see how this looks. Usually I'll just bump into the, you'll feel the piddle bump into the trailer. You'll feel the hitch bump into the trailer. And so I don't know, I think Tyke's truck maybe sags a little more with the weight. Some of them are different heights. When all we had was the 3500s, usually you could just bump right into them. It would be above the ball and you could get out and hook it up. But so what I do is I just go out and we'll just go out and check and see where it's at. Sometime I'm a little misaligned. Okay, so see, you can see that I'm a little misaligned, and I don't think that's actually gonna. Sometimes you can wiggle the trailer a little bit and get it to go down. I'll just pull forward a little bit. And line up a little bit better. And we'll go see if that worked. Okay, so now we're all set. You're gonna lower the jack. And get the loop to fall on the hitch. And this jack is lower than the deck over jack. So in general, I try to crank it up a little bit higher in case we go into a job site with a big bump or something. You don't want to grab that jack on a curb or a pile of dirt or something and have it get all bent up. So you can do that. You're going to fold the handle in and you pull the pin right here and that flips up. Now the most important thing on hooking up a trailer is locking this. All right, so everything else doesn't matter quite so much. You're not going to lose a trailer if you forget it. This is very important. So I try to always do that first. And what you're going to want to do is just get into a routine of how you do it. I always do this first. I always try to connect this. This is the most important. So you connect it and you pin it. All right, and then I go to the chains. Now your chains need to cross underneath, right? The reason for that is if something happens, maybe they'll catch the trailer a little bit because they're crossed. You know, maybe the trailer kind of fall down into them. It's not very likely, but that's sort of how they want them. And so your lockup, your brake lockup is already hooked up on most of the thing. It's connected somewhere. So then all you have is your electronics. And they go right here. And there's a little clip in here. I'm trying to see if you can see it. Yeah, right there. That little clip goes onto this clip and holds that in. So you need to push it in far enough that when this springs down, it holds them in. All right, and you want to make sure like this isn't dragging, it's not snagged on something. Sometimes these are really low to the ground. Like if you have a heavy weight on the trailer, you want to make sure these aren't dragging, and you can roll them if they are. You can spin the chain. You know, you kind of knot it up, so you just roll it and roll it and roll it, and it knots up like this, and that lifts it up. So then what I do, so some people can just keep a thing in their mind, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 things that I want to see hooked up when I'm here. If you want to keep the number 5 in your mind, that's fine. Check your jack, but always start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're all set, right? And then you're going to check your lights and your tire, make sure you don't have something flat. On this trailer, you also generally want to check that this is locked in. This is the tilt lever for the trailer. So anyway, what I do, I come and I hook my trailer up, right? Always start with the piddle lock, and then your chains, your electronics. The jack in general you're going to do first because you're using it to lower the trailer onto the hitch. But then the first thing you do is check the piddle, and then I step back, right? And I look and I see that's connected. My chains are on, my electronics are on, my jack is up. So that's like a double checking what you've done to make sure everything is safe. All right, and you can just check your trailer, also the decking. So there's some rocks. I would just kick some of that stuff off. We don't want it falling on the road. We've had stuff fall on the road before, break people's windshields. They call and complain about it, and you know, obviously this is our responsibility to make sure the equipment's clean and roadworthy, and that we're protecting people on the road as best we can. So that's kind of the general stuff for the trailer, hooking up, just things to be aware of. All right guys, another thing with trailers and these trucks is the brake controller. So when you get in a truck and they had just hauled with it, that brake controller is probably going to be way up high. And you can see it's right here. There's plus and minus, and it will tell you on the dash in this Dodge, it'll tell you how high and what setting the brake controller is at. So I try to run it empty at around a 3. So it gives you a little extra braking power. But if you run it much higher than that, you know, you can run it 2.5, 3, whatever. If you run it much higher than that, probably even 4, 4.5, and you get on the brakes fairly aggressively, it'll just lock the trailer up because it's empty, and you won't even really know it. So then it's just skidding the trailer, and it just puts flat spots on the tires and eats them right up. So when you're hauling, turn that thing up to, you know, 6.5, 7. That's what it's for. It really helps with the braking. And then the other thing you can do, and this truck has these right down here, there's a exhaust brake and a tow haul mode. So when I haul, I'll show you that. I'm gonna go get a skid steer, and I'll show you that when I haul, I turn those on as well. That helps. The truck's doing a lot more, it's just safer. It's safer. The tow haul mode is safer, easier on the truck. The exhaust brake helps you slow down, and you know, it's just being able to stop with a lot of weight is important. Check your brake controller, because that happens often. Someone uses the truck and you don't even think about it. You unhook the trailer and just go park the truck. So the next person that gets in it has no idea it had a trailer, what was going on, and the first time they touch the brakes with the trailer's locked up and there's smoke in their mirror. So make that a habit to check that. When you hook up a trailer, check your brake controller setting, so you're responsible for that, and trying to keep flat spots from forming on the tires. And yeah. All right guys, so we got a skid steer on the trailer, and then I get in the truck, and right down here you can see the exhaust brake symbol, and this says tow haul. So I'm going to turn those both on. They're different in each truck. And then here's the brake controller, and you can see right there, see the 4? So I'm just pumping that up to 7. And that's what I do for hauling with the trucks.